If you're watching this right now, I want you to hear this message with your whole heart because it's been sitting heavy on mine. A lot of you have been walking every single day without forgiving yourselves, and you might not even realize it. You think you're tired, you think you're overwhelmed, you think you're stuck, but what you're actually carrying is resentment toward yourself. Let me show you what I mean. For many of you, the loop sounds like, why did I stay too long? Why did I tolerate that? Why did I hurt them? Why did I lie so much? Why did I cheat? Why didn't I show up? Why didn't I text them back? Why did I fall off again? Why did I eat all of that when I know I shouldn't? Or why did I stop trying? You replay those moments and punish yourself in your mind over and over again, and sometimes for years. You think this is a reflection, this is accountability, but it's not. And the problem with this type of punishment is that it doesn't stay in the past. It doesn't stay in, I made a mistake. It slowly becomes, I am a mistake. And that's the shift that changes everything. Because here's the truth that people never talk about. When you don't forgive yourself, your mistakes turn into your identity. And you start saying things like, I'm not good enough, I'm unreliable, I'm someone who breaks their own word, I'm not relationship material, I'm a cheater, I'm the problem, I can't trust myself, I'm not a good friend, I'm someone who always messes things up. And here's the most dangerous part. Once something becomes your identity, your brain will work overtime to fulfill it, even if you hate it, even if it costs you your peace, even if it's stopping you from becoming the person you want to become. You will subconsciously start acting in ways that match the identity that you believe about yourself. If you believe you're unreliable, you'll keep flaking. If you believe you're unlovable, you'll keep sabotaging good relationships. If you believe you're bad, you'll keep making decisions that reinforce that. And not because you want to, but because your brain is wired to maintain consistency between who you think you are and how you behave. So not forgiving yourself doesn't just hurt you emotionally. It shapes your future, it shapes your habits, it shapes your self-trust. Let me tell you a story. When I played Division I soccer, my sophomore year was the peak of my entire athletic career. I was confident, I was in flow, I was getting awards, I became captain. Just think of it as a highlight year. I played every single game, every minute. It was amazing. It was the kind of year that athletes dream about. And then, in the very last game of the season, I made a mistake. I was the last line of defense, one wrong decision, one moment of hesitation. And that mistake cost us the championship. I can still feel it in my body when I talk about it. That moment shattered me. I wasn't just disappointed, I was sad, really sad. I was ashamed. I felt so much guilt, and I immediately shifted into, how could I do that? I knew better. I'm so stupid. I'm not trustworthy. I can't be relied on. I ruined everything, and I let everyone down. And that internal dialogue, that self-punishment, turned into my identity overnight. I went from, I made a mistake, to, I am the mistake. And that identity destroyed my confidence. The next season, I started second-guessing myself on the field at every practice, almost every game. I hesitated, I overthought all of my passes. I made choices out of fear instead of my instinct. I played small, I played safe. I wasn't in flow anymore. And honestly, my performance plateaued. Not because I wasn't capable anymore, not because my skills disappeared, not because I suddenly became a bad player, but because my identity changed. I became the enemy inside my own head. And the sad thing is that I never fully returned to who I was before that moment. And it's not because I didn't have the talent, it's because I didn't forgive myself. Eventually, I kind of fell out of love with the sport, and I wanted to graduate early and just close that chapter. And I did. And I picked up a camera and just fell in love with something completely new. You know, storytelling and videography became my new passion. But when I look back, I finally understood the sentence. And it's that I'm a person who happens to play soccer. I'm not a soccer player. And there's a huge difference. One is an identity, and the other is an experience. The story that you tell about who you are is the most powerful force in your entire life. And I want to insert something here that someone told me that really changed my entire perspective around the relationship with myself. You made the best decision you could with the information, the awareness, and the emotional capacity you had in that moment. I'm gonna read that again. You made the best decision you could with the information, the awareness, and the emotional capacity you had in that moment. You weren't failing, you weren't stupid, you weren't reckless. You were doing the best you could with what you knew and who you were at the time. And now that you know more, you will do better. But punishing yourself for the version of you who didn't have the tools you have today is not growth. It's cruelty. And the truth is, you will never become the version of you that you're dreaming of if you're still punishing the version of you that got you here. Forgiveness is not soft, it's not fluffy, it's not a journal prompt, and it's not therapy. Forgiveness is a skill. It's a discipline. It's a mental muscle. It is the ability to say, I am human. I didn't know better. I was scared. I was wounded. I was trying. I was lost. I didn't have the tools. I was operating from survival. Forgiveness isn't letting yourself off the hook. Forgiveness is letting yourself out of prison. And until you do that, you will walk through life carrying a version of yourself that was never meant to make it into your future. So if you're watching this, I want you to ask yourself, what version of me am I still punishing? Is it the version who stayed too long? The version who betrayed someone? The version who betrayed yourself? The version who didn't speak up? The version who didn't try hard enough? Or the version who tried their best and still failed? Which one is it? Because that's the version of you who needs compassion the most. Forgiveness is the bridge between who you were and who you're trying to become. And if you can build that bridge, your whole life opens. Your identity shifts, your self-trust returns, your courage expands, your decisions get clearer, and your boldness comes back. When you forgive yourself, you finally give yourself permission to grow. So for day 52, this is your work. Forgive yourself. You were doing the best you knew how to do. That version of you deserves peace, and so do you. This is day 52 out of 100 bold. Have an amazing day, crush it, and I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. And remember, to act bold, you need to be kid brave again.